Innovators! Welcome to Who's Next, Innovators Edition, powered by the Thurgood Marshall College Fund. I'm your host, Martin G. Martin II, the Senior Program Director of Innovation and Entrepreneurship, also known as I&E. The Thurgood Marshall College Fund champions the ambitions of scholars and innovators of HBCUs and PBIs to produce the next generation of top talent. Who's Next Innovators Edition aims to highlight Black entrepreneurs and HBCU innovators through educational and authentic conversations. I'm excited to invite a few of our I&E alum to kick off these conversations, so let's see who's next.
I like to see myself, I can describe myself as an entrepreneur, a full-time entrepreneur. I do have, like you said, 3 different companies. My first company is a staffing agency, and I mostly staff like healthcare professionals and administrative employees. And we have over 60 employees with that organization. And then the second company is almost like a co-working space, almost like WeWork and Regis. And we have, as of today, we have about 18 different locations.
Wow.
And over 1,200 private offices and over 2,500 different tenants. Wow. So that's the second organization. And then the third company is a property management company, and we manage residential properties. And we have about 50 properties that we manage at this moment. I mean, I think for me, motivation just comes from just adding value. So like, you know, when I wake up in the morning, the only thing I want to do, and the most important thing I want to do is just make sure that I'm using my time wisely to add value. Because if you're adding value where value is missing, then you're going to be properly compensated for that. I would say I didn't see it. I would say it probably organically happened because with the first company, which is a staffing agency, when I was in college, I actually did an internship with a staffing company. And I had no clue that industry even existed. So I did my internship with the staffing company, and then I just kind of fell in love with the process. And I was like, you know what? I'm really good at this. So I'm gonna learn it some more, and then eventually start it as a business. So then when I started it as a business, as I was building the company and finding my first office space, I had a lot of challenges finding an affordable, professional, and flexible office space. So as I built that company and got to a point where I wanted to start a second company, I was like, you know what? I want to start something that caters to entrepreneurs but solves a problem. Solves a problem that I had,
right,
which is affordable office space. So that's how I decided to start the second company. And then in building the second company and also managing the first company, I started to make a little bit of money, and then I started investing in investment properties. But trying to manage my own investment property and then run my company, I had a hard time doing that too as well. So I figured that other folks might have that same challenge. So I started a property management company. Yeah, so my internship, I did my internship the last year of college and got hired right after that. So I spent 2 years at the first job being a staffing recruiter, and then I left that job and went to another company doing the same thing, but a smaller company, and spent 2 years there. And then after 2 years there, I quit my job at the age of 26 and then started my company with $1,000. I mean, I would say honestly, keep it simple. Find a problem, because there's millions of different problems that exist that either people have solved already or they just don't have a different twist to it. So it's about finding a problem that you're really excited about solving, right? And then focus on it, develop something around it, keep it simple, put a cost and price to it, and then, you know, put it together and take it out there to the market. No such thing as balance. I don't believe in balance. You just gotta just juggle it as it comes, because I heard it one time said that, like, as you know, you can't get all your ducks in a row. As soon as you get your ducks in a row, somebody's ready to shoot them.
Right.
So it's just like, you know, don't focus on trying to get everything together, because it's not realistic. Just handle what you gotta handle in front of you and just keep it moving. 18 years old, what would I do different? What would I do different? I feel like I've been preparing myself for this moment for a while, actually. Even at 18, I knew that I wanted to do something different, and I knew that I wanted to kind of be an entrepreneur. So even at 18, I was like purposely disciplining myself. You know what I'm saying? So even in college, like, I would tell myself, don't dress like a regular college student, actually wear a tie and a button up and all that stuff. So I was like kind of disciplining myself on purpose and preparing for entrepreneurship. So if I was to go back, or if I was to give anybody advice, I would say be intentional. Like, know exactly, have an idea of what you want to do, and then discipline yourself accordingly and take the right actions that's needed to be able to get there faster. Add value, add value, add value, all across the board. Yeah, I mean, because you're in business to make money. But the only way you can make money is by adding value. And if you don't add value, nobody will be willing to pay you for what you just provided to them, whether a service or a product. So if you can learn how to add value, you can make as much money as you want to make. That's life, that's life. I mean, there's so many different things you're gonna go through as an entrepreneur, but as long as you've made up your mind that you're not gonna give up, I think your brain works in a mystical way where it figures things out. Like for me, one of the biggest challenges that I had starting my business is that I started with $1,000. And I didn't borrow any money. So I started with $1,000, and then 10 years later, so it'll be 10 years of me being an entrepreneur in December.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And we're doing close to $1 million a month now in revenue, and over $10 million for the year. But the biggest challenge I had was starting with $1,000. And I was running a staffing agency, and in a staffing agency, you get a contract, but you have to now pay your employees, because employees expect a paycheck every 2 weeks. But my contract was to get paid in 90 days.
Oh.
So
you need upfront money.
Exactly. So I needed.
But you're not borrowing it.
Exactly. So
Okay.
I had to figure out a way. I said, okay, although I had the contract with the organization, I asked them, hey, is there a way that you all can actually front me the money, so that way I can be able to pay my staff and then keep the business going? And they actually agreed. They were able to front me the money within 15 days, and then I was able to pay my first initial staff and get the ball rolling. So you're gonna have challenges that come up, but you gotta have that mindset where you're not gonna complain. You're just gonna figure it out. So I had a payroll system that would pay the employees, take out the taxes, but wasn't automatically paying it to the government.
Oh, so you're like, wait, I thought I took care of that.
Exactly.
In
So,
the system.
Yep, first year I thought I had taken care of that, but then I get this big bill of like $80,000 and saying that I still owed, and I was like, what am I gonna do now? So I think that was one of the first learning curves that I had to deal with as an entrepreneur. But we figured it out, and we kept it moving. Yeah, I would say, for entrepreneurs that are graduating, I would say get a job, be the best that you can be at that job, because the way you should look at a job is basically a paid internship or a paid education for you to really learn how systems work, how a business works, how accounting works, how that stuff works. But you're basically being paid to learn that. So take it seriously, perform, be the best you can be, because when you go from having a job to being an entrepreneur, you don't do less work. You actually do more work. But if you have now trained your mind, right, and trained yourself how to already do that, then it becomes easier when you're doing it for yourself. As an employee, yeah, you have a 9 to 5, but as an entrepreneur, to be really successful in the beginning, you got to have a 95 mentality. So in a job, it takes 9 to 5, but as an entrepreneur, it takes 95 hours at least a week. And you can't be afraid of that. If you're afraid of that, you might as well just stop. Don't even do it. Because for me, I've been putting in 90 plus hours for the past 10 years.
Right.
Yeah. In terms of marketing, I think I have a little bit of a different approach when it comes to marketing. Most people like to make music when it comes to marketing. I just say make noise. Make noise, get attention, get people to, when something is loud, people turn around and pay attention to it. And when you're an entrepreneur just getting started, you don't have enough money, enough branding to make music, right? So you gotta make noise so enough people can pay attention, where you can sell them your product and you start making money. And then once you start making money, at that point, you have enough money to invest in making music, making it all come together. I mean, I would just say, find a problem, identify the solution, take it to the market. Yeah, simple. Yeah, because a lot of times we get, I like to call it knowledge constipation, where basically we overthink something and we don't do anything. So keep it simple, find a problem, find a solution, take it to the market, and let the market decide. Right, so the beautiful thing about the world is that I'm not the one to pick who's next. It's whoever that wants to be next can be next. They just gotta be willing to put in the work. Thank you all for having me. And if you all are looking to find out more about myself and the companies, just go to Chiko, the Dream Chaser on Instagram, and you'll be able to find more information about the 3 different companies.